Alright guys, hope you're all keeping safe. I've just been eating, playing games and sleeping pretty much the whole time. I'm one of the fortunate people that can actually work from home for both YouTube and my full-time job, but I really feel for the people who cannot do that. If you are one of those people watching this video, I really hope I can provide you with some escape from the world, even for just 5 or 10 minutes. I want to thank you all for all of your support. Today I've got a kind of news type video, although I'm only covering one subject on this one. If you enjoy this one, drop a like down below, a dislike if you didn't, and let's begin. Alright, so in the last week I've posted 2 videos about the damage glitch. The first one I posted, I wasn't actually sure if the glitch existed. I thought it may be a UI kind of issue. I had no concrete evidence except the inspection of builds that showed base damage of weapons in the millions, which you could look on the leaderboards for most activities, and also that people were running through Roosevelt Island on heroic in under 7 minutes, which I did think is literally impossible unless you're actually running from start to finish. And that was kind of the biggest flag for me that actually this glitch did exist. The second video was confirmation of the damage glitch actually being real, as proven by Nogo Montoya's video here on YouTube that showed you exactly how to do the glitch. I didn't actually say who uploaded the video because I didn't want to do that in my video. I also didn't show it in my video, but it is very clear that the glitch did exist. Now, it does appear it was an interaction between holding a shield with your weapon, entering onto a turret which swaps your weapon, and then swapping back to your original weapon and coming off of the turret. You could keep repeating the process, which would keep increasing your damage output. Well, I'm pleased to say that this has thankfully been fixed as per an emergency patch that came out yesterday. So that's really good news. However, and I must stress this, I have it on good authority and source on Twitter actually, that there is a new damage glitch now as well. Now I say new with inverted commas because the chances are this has likely existed before now, but only came out recently. Although I've not seen a video of this new glitch, I've just heard how it comes about. Now apparently this is some sort of gear stacking glitch. I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with loadouts, like the gear stacking glitch we had some time ago. And I've said this before, but it kind of feels like it's just one after the other at this point when it comes to these glitches and bugs and stuff. If any of you guys have come across this gear stacking glitch, I highly recommend you report the players using it. And if you actually know how to do it, have already reported this to the devs with video footage showing you how to recreate it. Now, I know there are plenty of major bugs right now that are plaguing the game, like the revive hive not working a lot of the time, control points not resetting, and the countless others. And sometimes it does feel like the devs prioritize stuff which is maybe not as important as some of these legacy bugs, and I completely understand that. Now, what I will say is there was a bit of a feud yesterday between creators around whether people who have used this damage glitch, or the older one, should be banned. And I didn't really get involved in it because I do have my opinion, and it's not opinion that I wish to share really that much, because at the end of the day, if people are exploiting or using a glitch in any game and they know for sure that they're using it, then I think my stance is pretty clear. You should be banned, and I think that's fair. Obviously, the damage glitch before, where you could go onto the turret and stuff, then that was something that could happen to anyone. But at the end of the day, if you're someone that plays the game and you are running through the heroic difficulty in 7 minutes or legendaries in 10 minutes, and you're abusing this, then you should be banned. And I think that's fair. I think ultimately, whether it's the dev's fault or not, it doesn't mean that you should get away with it, if that makes sense. Now, I work for an insurance company and I generally deal with car insurance claims, and I'll give you an example of something that people always kind of bring to me as an argument, which is just, it doesn't really make much sense. But for example, if someone parks outside your house on double yellows on a dropped curb, and then you back into their car, is it the person's car that's parked there? Is it their fault for the illegal parking, or is it your fault for backing into them? And certainly when it comes to civil law, in respect to that, then you backed into them, the car was stationary, whether it was illegally parked or not. So the reason I use that analogy is because just because it's there, just because it can be abused, doesn't mean it should be abused, especially when it's at the detriment of other people, because this glitch works against in PvP for Dark Zone, so it's being used against others as well. So it's not like it was just... If it was just something that you could use in PvE only, I still wouldn't agree that you should be able to do it, but I'd understand the argument a little bit more. But as this is at the detriment of other players' experience, not just your own, then I definitely think people who have abused this should be banned. I think the leaderboards for the majority of people need to be wiped off. You can go into the leaderboards and you can see the people that have used it, because I believe it stores the build that you used at the time of actually doing the run, so it will show the people that have been abusing it. And if you've got, when you first use this glitch, it might put your damage up by a little bit, and you'll notice it when you start firing, because you'll see, well, actually I don't normally do that much damage, what's going on? But it's the repeated process, okay? So if you're doing a tiny bit more damage because you've only done it once, fair enough. But if you're abusing it, if you keep going back on and you keep doing it to get your damage up to 8 million, then I think that you know what you're doing. And I think at that point maybe you should be banned. So that's kind of my take on the whole situation. Some people, have a different opinion, and that's absolutely fine. At the end of the day, we're all entitled to our own opinions, and that's important. And I encourage anyone who has a different opinion to please leave it down in the comments below, because at the end of the day, that's your right, and I'm absolutely cool with it. There's nothing wrong with everyone having a different opinion on that. I just think that if you're abusing something that you shouldn't be doing, then you should probably be banned for it. I wouldn't say indefinitely. Maybe suspended is probably a better word than banned, because I don't think you should be banned indefinitely, but I think you should be suspended. Your account should be suspended for a set period of time. Going back to the gear stacking glitch, guys, I don't know how it works. I'm trying to find out how it does work, just so that I can also report it to the devs, but I don't know at the moment. There will probably be some videos on this coming soon, I imagine, on YouTube, so keep an eye out for it. I believe some creators are already aware of this, and they already know how it works, and will probably publish videos on it very soon. But I also think they've reported it as well to the developers, which, and again, my opinion on this is the same when it comes to posting these videos of how these glitches work. In my opinion, if, for example, you've reported a glitch to the developers 2 weeks ago, this is just a hypothetical situation, but let's say, for example, the most recent damage glitch was reported to the developers 2 weeks ago, okay? And, they never talked about it on State of the Game most recently. I've heard nothing from the devs about it online at all, apart from them acknowledging that it exists, and that's just from people reaching out to them. And then it was suddenly emergency patched yesterday, but it's strange that the emergency patch came after videos then started leaking online about how to do it. So is there a right time to release videos that show how to do it? Probably not. There's probably never the right time, but actually what you'll find is that in most situations, when everyone starts using it, because it's been put out into the public, that's when the developers really start to wind it down and get these things fixed. So if it means that you put out one day and it's fixed the next day, then I'm for it, because at least from the last glitch that I know about, it was reported like a week and a half ago, and it's taken them a week and a half to fix it. That might be the case, and they might have been quiet about it because they didn't want people searching about it online. That could absolutely be the case, but sometimes it is needed. I would say for this gear stacking glitch, it probably isn't. If it is something that's only just come out as of today or yesterday, since the patch came out yesterday for the other one, then I don't think it needs to be released to the public, because at the end of the day, there's probably very few people that know how to do it. And all you're going to do is increase the availability to everyone, when it's something the devs can probably fix as soon as possible. And with everything going on in the world right now, I appreciate the devs can work from home, but it's not going to be as normal. There are going to be interruptions, so it's going to take the developers probably longer to fix this sort of stuff than normal. But yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this. Again, I don't want to bring negative content to my channel if I can help it. I was actually scripting a more positive video when it came to this damage glitch. It was going to be about, hey, they fixed it, great news. Let's see what happens with leaderboards and bans and stuff. But it's kind of taken a negative spiral down to this new gear stacking glitch. And as I said in my review video yesterday, I think most Division content creators, certainly ones that are old school ones, are pretty numb to this right now. The problem is that it doesn't change anything. Whether you're numb to this or not, it's still crap. Like, it's still not something you want to see in a game. And especially with a lot of new players coming into this game, the last thing they're going to want is to go into into the PvP and be shredded by someone glitching, or if they're trying to compete on a leaderboard, to try and get to number one, and they're being absolutely destroyed by people who are using glitches to get stupid times. Like, no one wants that. No one wants that uncompetitive advantage. And what makes stuff competitive is that everyone's almost on a fair playing field, or at least everyone's got the tools to be on a fair playing field. Making builds, having the knowledge about builds, and all of that sort of stuff. No one wants to be beaten out by someone using some sort of glitch which allows them to run through content or run through you as a player when you're competing, and that's not fair. That's why this stuff needs to be fixed as soon as possible. I really hope that if people know how to do this stuff, then I really strongly recommend you push this to the devs as soon as possible. A video, all of that sort of stuff on the Ubisoft forums, Reddit, Twitter, whatever you've got, just hit them up and let them know. You can reach out to loads of people and hopefully they'll fix the game for you. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks very much. Peace out.